See how much memory. 5 minutes memory. It's because I filmed too much. I don't delete anything.
Oh wait, this is going.
This is going.
Ah.
This is the goofy intro that I always film to get myself used to speaking through camera.
Oh, that makes sense.
Because it's weird talking to a camera on your own.
I'm surprised you don't script it.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Hi!
Hello.
Hello! It's Harley and Casey again. Casey has different hair.
Again.
If you follow my Instagram, you know that Casey has different hair. Follow my Instagram. Plug. Today, we're doing something interesting. Casey's never seen Split. I have seen Split, so I know what's going to happen. It's a very taboo subject in the community.
I'm nervous.
And we're going to watch it now, and we're going to get Casey's opinion on it. As living and dating somebody with DID, first-hand experience.
I'm really nervous.
You're going to see what the film is like. What's your predictions?
I mean, I like some of them, like Shyamalan's movies. I think, like, some of them, he's been an incredible director, and some of them are just completely flopped. So, like, I know how Shyamalan likes to put twists on every... And obviously I know about the ending and stuff like that.
You've heard things.
Yeah. I know how, like, he likes to put twists on stuff, so it could have gone in the sense of him being a really good director to start off with, and then having to... What's the word? Compulsively almost put that twist at the end, ruining it.
Yeah. Because if he just left it as it was, it would have been good. But...
And because also Glass comes out next year.
Yeah. Which is it's a sequel to this. So, do you have any predictions? What do you think's going to happen? Or do you have any things you think you're going to feel?
Based on what I know...
What you've heard?
What I've heard, yeah. I'm expecting it to be... I guess fairly decent.
Yep. Sort of a representation of DID.
Yeah, but again, it's one of those things where, because I'm going to be watching it on the stance of a movie, and I guess I need to get into that headspace of not analysing it as a good or bad movie, analysing it just as that representation of DID.
Yeah.
So,
you can watch it as both.
True. I guess we'll get into that afterwards then, on my...
Yeah, as to what you think about it.
Thoughts?
So, yeah.
Thoughts going in, I'm nervous.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nervous, Casey. 2018. So we will catch up with you after the film. Bye.
Man, that chicken's so good.
This is our pizza break. Like, middle show pizza break. How you finding it so far?
Interesting.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like, it's almost like everybody in the cinema industry has no desire to, like, make progressive media anymore.
What do you mean?
Everything's about the biggest blockbuster or the next amazing thriller and stuff like that. And at the moment I was watching, and you're just like, this could have made for a really progressive, like, movie about DID.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if movie directors were more involved in thinking, oh, yeah, maybe it would be really cool to make a progressive movie about that, instead of going, oh, this isn't going to be a good movie unless people see it and they're like, oh, what an amazing thriller.
Yeah. Enjoying it?
Yeah. I guess.
And how's the pizza?
The pizza's fucking amazing.
How's the chicken nuggets?
Chicken bobbers are the shit. Can you swear on your channel?
Yeah, go for it.
Chicken bobbers are the shit. But the
Nice.
pizza, though.
See you later.
Hashtag DID people only date people with scars.
Is that what you took from it?
That was interesting. That was a real shame.
Yeah?
Yeah, because it was like it was a real shame for multiple reasons. I find because my family have seen it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a shame for me because I enjoyed it. if you know what I mean. I kind of enjoyed it, and I was like, well,
I enjoyed it when I watched it.
As somebody who wouldn't know about DID, I'd probably be like, yeah, that was a cool, weird movie, and but it was cool. I wonder if there are people like that out there, sort of thing. Obviously, knowing about DID, it becomes very much a shame because as much as you can enjoy the movie, it does portray it in a very bad light. And it can be a shame when it portrays it in a very bad light and gets some of the facts right as well, because you're like, well, that was good.
Yeah.
But you twisted that and made it like...
Because it is very good up until...
Because like I said, my family had seen it.
Yeah.
And they were disappointed in it, and they were like, well, that was a really cool movie up until he turns into that beast thing.
Yeah, it's accurate movie.
So,
like
yeah, it makes you think that maybe, well, people would have enjoyed it if it hadn't have gone down that.
Yeah, so the facts are correct. The things they reference are all true stories. Like the fact about people can change their genetic structure, and the fact that some people have diabetes and some people they can see, and some people can walk and then can't walk, or whatever, you know. So that's correct, but
like the concept is kind of cool, but it almost feels like they went, well, here's a concept, we'll make this movie about like DID. And then, the concept, that was like the concept of the movie. And then they were like, well, we need to like deliver a message. And then like, the message was like broken people
the broken are the
broken are more evolved kind of thing. Which, if you look at the girl just in herself, it's very much like, well, yeah, that can be very like, that can be a logical message to put across. Like you look at her scars, and you're like, that kind of makes sense, I guess. Like, the only reason she survived was because of what's happened to her, and she knew how to handle the situation. Everybody else didn't, because they'd never had anything bad happen to them in their lives. So it gets confused with the fact that the message that they can put across can work, but because the message works and the way they're delivering it is... that doesn't particularly work, if you know what I mean. Like the beast... The whole beast thing is like... It's going from one extreme to the other. You know, you've got... hurtful people are the more evolved, literally, and then you've got hurtful people, like people who have been hurt are the more evolved, like mentally, almost, like in the sense of like the way, quote unquote, more evolved in the sense because she could handle the situation, and you go from one extreme to the other of like the whole.
And also, like, those two other girls could have had anything done to them. You know?
Yeah, you never know.
You never know, and just because they didn't have any scars. I think, no, he basically, they say that he followed those two girls for 4 days or whatever to see how they were, and their lives were perfect. So that's why he chose them. But still, they could have had underlying things that
of course
define them as broken.
Well, that's a different thing. It wasn't a message of, like, understanding people. It was a message of, you can know anything about a person if you want to. Follow them about, make an assumption about their life, and then...
Eat them!
Eat them. If they're impure.
So...
Yeah.
Overall, what were your thoughts? How realistic was it? Let's go for some questions. How realistic was it?
It's one of those tricky things. Because it's kind of like DID in a sense, in its own entirety, you know, because DID is one of those things where it's like you can believe someone, and you can have empirical evidence, and you can use that empirical evidence to kind of justify it and understand it better. Not only is justifying, but like understand it better. And you can also be on the sense of on the fence the whole thing, which is understandable to a certain degree. If you live with it, you kind of get a more, you know. But with I found the movie kind of came under that bracket as well, because it was very much there were things in it was like, yeah, I can believe that, I can, like, and then there was others which is very much suspense of disbelief.
Yeah.
Like the beast thing wasn't particularly believable.
No.
But then
you
can kind of think that kind of stuff can happen.
Yeah, I was going to say, while watching it, this is the second time I've seen it, I realised that most of the things that the Beast does are pretty accurate. You know, you could have, because basically you can have an altar that's stronger than the host, but the strength of that altar will be the strongest the host could ever lift if they tried, you know? But the host just hasn't accepted
possible.
Yeah, so the strength, he doesn't show any particular... people can climb walls like that, people can hang from poles like that, people can run that fast, you know, but, like...
It's the sad thing.
Taking the shotgun to the chest and not dying is a bit like, like eating an entire girl's stomach. It's a bit,
I mean,
possible.
Could happen. But it's that thing, like the sadness of the fact that that's another way the media's displaying it, you know?
Yeah.
That's
why YouTubers are so important.
It's sad. You know, because it's like that could be a cool movie if people, you know, you make this type. There's the movies all the time about quote unquote normal things, that get blown out of proportion all the time. You have things like soap operas and all that sort of stuff where people are in normal situations with normal things, but it's like overly extremely dramatized, and that's fine because everybody experiences those situations and everybody knows that that's not how it is. It's not that dramatic. DID isn't something that's very well known at the moment. Yeah, so for anybody, people think this is the baseline, and it's not. Yeah. That's the sad thing for me, is that a lot of this is possible, a lot of this is logical, a lot of this makes sense to DID. There's a lot of good science in there, like explanations in there and stuff like that. But it's sad that that's the portrayal that we have of it at the moment, because people don't know where the baseline is yet, and you know it can be sad for people with DID as well, because when something like this is done by such a well-known director. I can't remember what I was saying.
Final conclusions.
Final conclusions. It's very dark in here. It's a decent movie. Fairly well directed.
Yep.
A bit of a shame, really.
Yep.
Because as much as it's a good movie, it can't be enjoyed to the fullest extent because
it's inaccurate.
And less inaccurate, more to it's that jumping to conclusions again. Is that like all psychopaths are murderers?
Yeah.
You know, all people with DID are going to have a personality who's going to, I don't know, stab you and pretend he's his mum, or
Bates Motel.
Which is actually pretty decent.
But still murdery.
Yeah, summary. Real shame. It shouldn't be like... What's the word? Shouldn't be assumed. You know, we should be able to get to a place where we can have movies like that and enjoy them because people know about that sort of stuff. Yeah. So I think it's horrible to criticise the movie directly, because there's nothing wrong with having a movie like that. No. The same way there's nothing wrong with having a movie where somebody without any condition is a murderer.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's just a shame basically because the way we are in society now, that's not what we need right now. It's a bad time to have that type of movie coming out.
Yes.
So as much as it's a good movie, and if you know about DID, I'd recommend watching it because of how good it shows DID.
Yeah, that's what I always said.
How badly it, like...
I said, right up until he turns into the Beast, it's a good representation of DID. You do get alters that want to watch girls dance, or you do have alters that have ulterior motives and whatever, you know, that's just a thing that can happen, you know. So it is a good representation. It shows child alters, it shows introjects, it shows like the reason that you have it, like the fact that he was so severely abused. I think that it's all very good information, and the doctor uses completely correct terminology throughout the whole thing. But it's just the fact that he turns into a monster and kills people is the issue. Hollywood's
going to be Hollywood, I guess, but the problem is not everybody's going to
take that as face value as it's not real people.
Yeah, that was my watching of Split.
Yeah. There you go. Thanks.
Subscribe to her channel.
Thanks.
She's not gonna say it.
Subscribe. Like this video. Leave a comment for Casey's face. Leave a comment if you want more Casey in the videos. Yes. And bye. Thank you all for watching. Bye.